take a moment here, getting into any position that feels comfortable to you for starters. Just to use this as an opportunity to land here in the present moment, to feel your body connected with the earth. So coming down, preferably in a position where you can get full movement of your diaphragm, where you can breathe easily. And just attune your awareness now to the space in your room, the feeling of being contained in a space that's holding you in this moment. Tonight's class, we're going to explore ourselves as the elements. And we're going to begin by exploring ourselves as water. So as you bring your awareness more and more into your body, begin to sense the energy within the cells of your body, the fluid within your body, and also begin to muse over the fact that you began as an aqueous being, as actual fluid swimming in a sack. When we were in the womb, having this very aqueous quality to our existence there. So let us begin now moving. We're going to move our arms and our legs, start in star, and then bring everything in as you do. So when I say bring everything in, I mean bring your knees towards your elbows, round your spine. Keep the back of your neck long here, so chin is slightly tucked. And then fluidly moving back into star, right? So moving here through starfish, seeing if we can bring a fluid-like essence to our movement here, as if we were literally making our way through water. Keep moving just like that. Slow motions, fluid and aqueous. Breathing, synchronizing your breath with movement here. We're not going to focus so much on the pattern right now, but it's more so on fluidity. So notice for yourself, and keep moving through starfish as I speak to you, but notice for yourself any areas of tension, tightness, or rigidity. And just imagine, as you notice that tightness or rigidity, just imagine that that tightness and rigidity is existing within a body of water. Moving fluidly. And now bring your awareness to the edges of your skin as you're moving through space, the boundary of your body. And bring your awareness also to looking at your hands, noticing your hands, and noticing your feet as you move through space. Maybe it's easier here to just notice your hands. But imagine a child, a little baby in a crib, just beginning to realize that they have hands and fingers, And that sense of wonder, this sort of blank slate, not having a definition for anything, just existing in the realm of feeling, sensing, and experience. Can you feel the edges of your body moving fluidly through space? Can you sense yourself mostly comprised of water, derived from water? Fluid in motion. Once again, if your mind has drifted, bring your awareness right back to the moment by noticing your hands as they come towards your body, and maybe just turn them forward and back and move your fingers, bringing your awareness into the sensations in your hands, the sensation of being alive. So working here with the proprioceptive sense, so the sense of our physical vessel existing in space. Being able to attune to this proprioceptive sense gives us a lot of inner resourcing. It allows us to detect our needs, and it gives us the ability to meet those needs as they arise. And it also diminishes the amount of time that we stay in a state of dissociation. So as you continue here, keep moving through space in this aqueous manner. Keep noticing like a child, noticing your hands, feeling your hands, wiggling your fingers. An invitation to repeat these words. I am. I exist. I am. I exist. Good, and go ahead and release the movement now. And bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, still lying on your back here. Bring one hand just to the dome region at the top of your ribs, so the crux of your ribs. Bring one hand there, and just notice as you breathe if that space feels tensioned or if it feels spacious. And right before your next inhale, fully relax that space from the dome of your abdomen all the way down to your low belly. Full relaxation, and then inhale into that space. And keep breathing just like that, leaving your awareness open to the sound of my voice. So tonight I'm going to share a little personal tale because I feel like it is a great mirror for everyone in this room. Continue focusing here, just feeling your breath. So tomorrow my partner and I are headed to Guatemala to sign the paperwork for a retreat property. And this is a vision that was given to me about 10 years ago. It just came and as a flash one day. I saw the place and I could feel the essence of what would be taking place there. So for 10 years, I've worked to bring this vision to fruition. And I just want to share with you one of the uncanny coincidences that happened along that journey that really changed my lens or my perspective, that opened me up to feeling and sensing the support that exists for all of us at all times within this universe. So around this time, I began to feel like there was some supportive presence with me, something that felt like an ancestor. And on the days that I would really feel this very strong presence with me, and this was me, someone who didn't even believe in this woo-woo stuff at the time, but I would feel a very strong supportive energy with me, and every day that I felt that, I would receive a rose from a stranger or just find a random rose on the ground. And around that time, this person came up to me one night when I was sitting outside at a cafe journaling. And he was a total stranger, but he said these words, and these are the words that I invite you to allow to come into your being and to seed within your heart tonight. I am you. You are me. Every molecule of the universe also exists inside of you. Perception is only one reality. What if we are real angels? After the man spoke these words to me, he bowed and walked away. And then lo and behold, a stranger came up and laid a red rose on the table, sealing the deal that I had in fact been visited by some supportive presence. And I share this with you because tonight's class, we explore ourselves as the elements. We explore ourselves as molecules of a universe that is symbiotic, supportive, and communicative. So let us now open our eyes if they're closed. And let's bring our knees over our hips. Bring your hands right behind your knees. Round your spine. Keep the back of your neck long. Begin to shift your weight with your core strength. Rocking just slowly here. Keep the roundedness of your spine. Stay long through the back of your neck by keeping your slim chin slightly tucked. That's it. And rock up. That's it. And then we're going to come to stand. All right, let's come to stand. We're going to take a wide leg stance. We're going to work with the water element here. So I'm going to ask everyone right now to place your left hand on your heart, your right hand over your sacral chakra, your creative center, your house of your creative power right here, just a few inches beneath your navel. All right, and now relax your low belly and inhale into that space. That's it. Keep breathing just like that. And I'm going to ask now that you draw an intention or bring an intention into your mind's awareness. Some intention that you have for some experience you wish to cultivate or create. What is it that your heart deeply yearns for? What vision has been given to you? Dare to allow yourself to hold this vision, to hold this desire, and to seed it into the universe tonight. So we're going to begin bringing some motion into this. So bring your hands to heart center. All right, it's going to look like this. So we're going to go up with our hands, and then we're going to flip our hands over so that their back sides are together. And then we're going to come down, squat. As you squat, keep the back of your neck long and your spine aligned. All right, so it's going to be here, and then boom, we're going to flip it over and seed that intention into the earth, into the ether. All right, so once again, hold that intention in your mind's eye and in your heart. And even say to yourself, this is my intention. Fill in the blank. Awesome, and now begin that motion. So moving up, flipping it over, and then seating it, right? So as if we're sending out this intention to the ethers, to the earth, to this symbiotic and communicative universe in which we live. Keep moving just like that. Remembering to keep the back of your neck long as you squat down. Keep moving just like that. So a lot of times we can be very aware that we are not totally content with the present moment or a present experience. And that discontentment can take up all of our mental and emotional and physical energy. So tonight we work on flipping that script. Tonight is about allowing our heart's desires, the visions of our souls, allowing those inspirations to receive our energy, to be the focus of our lives, to energize us, rather than the discontentment stealing our energy. Keep moving just like that. Keep moving as I speak to you. May we remember that as we become clear about the quality of the experiences that we wish to create, by just getting clear about it, we are sending energy into this. We allow the universe to wrap supportive energies around our desires. But just like water, we must be willing to bend and to curve with unforeseen twists and turns. Can we trust that we are flowing in the direction of nourishment, abundance, and balance? Can just being in alignment in this moment be enough? Awesome, and then stand back up. Let's grab our danda. So we're gonna work with stirring the cauldron, stirring up the waters a bit here so that we can agitate some of those old energies we're carrying and make room for the new. All right, so it's gonna look like this. So we have people in here tonight that are having upper back and neck issues, and I just wanna draw your awareness to something. One is the articulation of your pelvis. If your pelvis is tilted forward, we're gonna have tension that you'll feel all the way up your spine into your shoulders and your neck. And similarly, with your pelvis tilted back. So find a neutral pelvis here. We're gonna keep our pelvis neutral, so not rounding and not tilted forward as we move through this. So, and then also we're gonna keep the back of our neck long. So just watch me first. I'm gonna come down, right? So see my back, my spine is neutral, the back of my neck is long. And then I'm gonna begin stirring the cauldron, come back up and down. So go ahead and begin moving with me. That's it. Now, add in the breath. So come up to stand, fully relax your low belly, inhale down, and then exhale up. That's it. And you can also, if you want, lengthen your side body as you come down. You can swing around to the side, create some length from your hips and low back, side ribs. That's it. Coming back up. That's it. Making it as big and expressed as you want, going as fast or slow as you like. So agitating the waters agitating those old emotional landscapes, those old energies, those old energies that have helped us create all of the past experiences that brought us to this moment. And as we agitate it, can we just thank the old? Thank our old ways for bringing us here. And let them know that we're about to show them a brand new way. That's it. Switch directions if you haven't already. That's it. And bring it back up. Let's place the danda to the side and meet at the top of the mat. Bring your hands together at heart center. Once again, what was that intention? Your heart's longing. Bring that up again and just state to yourself, it is my intention. Fill in the blank. Awesome. Bring your hands overhead. Relax your belly. Inhale to squat. Bring your hands to the earth and step back into quadruped. All right. And just moving here a bit with our breath. Now communing with the air element. All right. So it's going to look and sound like this. We're going to go inhale, tilt your pelvis back. Keep the back of your neck long, chin towards chest. And then exhale. So you'll tilt your pelvis forward and then this projectile sort of breath, the SH sound. So it doesn't have to be super forceful. It can be very easeful. So inhaling round. Each time you come up to exhale, at the end of your exhale, look over your shoulder and then switch sides the other time. So we're going to move our head and neck to also assist with pumping lymph in that region. Inhale. Keep breathing just like that. Noticing that every time you inhale, you are receiving nourishment from the external. You're receiving support. And every time you exhale, you are giving nourishment to this earth. Keep breathing. If you want to release the shh sound, you can, just to have a little more silence and stillness. Awesome. Let's do 2 more here. Good. And now we're going to come back to our backs. We're going to come down. Bring your feet together and your knees apart. That's it. And then once again, we're just going to tune into our breath for a moment. Find that dome of your abdomen and place a hand also just very lightly over your low belly. Fully relax your belly just before your inhale. So you relax and then the air fills that space of your abdomen and belly. Take a moment here, close down your eyes and continue feeling your breath. Inhaling nourishment, exhaling nourishment. You have a vital role in the ecosystem. upon discovering and claiming this role, the universe and the earth, in its symbiotic way, will support you. What is your purpose? How do you breathe inspiration, connection, and beauty into this world? Is it through art? Is it through music? Is it supporting others? May you always remember how needed you are. You have a vital role in this ecosystem. Awesome. Bring your knees over your hips and your hands behind your knees. Again, we're going to round our spine long in the back of our necks. And then we're just going to shift our weight by using our core strength here. And then once again, rocking up. Awesome. And then we're going to stand. You know what, guys? Sorry, I didn't want us to get up yet. So let's come to the back of our mats. And we're going to squat down. And we're going to come right back down. Let's find our towels. So I just want to show you something. This is a ball that we can use for a lot of beautiful pelvic work and other types of work here, but it's called a Courageous ball. So I'm going to send this to everybody. I'm going to send you a link of where to get it. It's fairly inexpensive online. I think it's like 15 bucks. But I would love for you to have this because there's so much that we can do to release old holding patterns, stress and tension patterns, and old emotional stories with just this ball. But since we don't have that ball, I'm going to ask that you take your big towel, fold it in half first, and then we're going to take one corner and then fold that corner to the middle, the other corner to the middle, eventually all four corners to the middle. Whoop. Yeah, so fold, 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 and then keep folding the edges to the center until you kind of make your towel into a little ball. It's not going to be perfect circle, but we just want some thickness here that we can use to apply some pressure. All right, so now take your folded towel and bring it to your mat. You may want to watch me first. And we're going to take the towel here. First, let's apply to our low belly. So we're going to come down, place the towel at your low belly, really in your pelvic region. So right there between your hips and low belly. Okay, and just allow yourself to, I lost my words. Allow yourself to just surrender here to gravity, feeling the pressure here in low belly and abdomen, and you can just shift your hips from side to side. So much of the tension that we hold, of the emotional stories that we hold, of our ancestral imprints, meaning the way we relate to ourselves and to others based on the relationships that we've had in our early childhood and that our ancestors had. So much of that stuff exists right here in the pelvic region and in the core. So also remembering that we breathe 22,000 breaths in a day. And so if those breaths are tensioned or we're hanging on to a really old pattern in this space, it's going to ripple out to affect the rest of our body and our psyche. So using a little bit of pressure here, we can start to increase blood flow to this region and start releasing some of those holding patterns. Okay, now tuck your toes, bend your knees, and come to quadruped. make this a little, you know, if it flattened out, then just make it thick again. And now we're gonna bring it to the right side of our mat, and we're gonna bring the towel now over to the right side of our abdomen and low belly, and just place it there. And then take your left leg, bring your left knee straight out to the side. So it's out to the side at 90 degrees. So it's even with your hip. Okay, and now just begin to shift your weight back and forth so that you can get pressure into different spaces in this part of your body. Good, and just keep doing that. I'm gonna show you, if we were working with a ball, then we would be able to roll up and down from our pelvis all the way up to just beneath the rib basket, really all over this space. This tissue can get so condensed, so congested, tight, restricted, and this ball can really, really help us in releasing those patterns that have been there for years. But you can play around with it with the towel as well. All right. Let's just take a couple of more breaths here, just kind of shifting our weight around, massaging out the tissue here. That's it. And now bring your left leg back in to meet your right leg. Tuck your toes, bend your knees, press back to quadruped. And just come to kneeling for a moment. Feels so damn good, at least to me. And just notice from one side to the other, which side feels more spacious and which side feels more tensioned or dense. So you can feel for yourself that you are actually able to make a difference, even if it's subtle. Let's take that towel again and kind of ball it up for ourselves. And then we're moving to the other side now. So come back down. We're gonna place the towel on our abdomen. So it's the left side now. Good, and then right leg comes out. Your knee is about at the level of your hip. That's it, and now just kind of shift around, massaging, perhaps, you know, lifting and finding a new spot to place it, but just shifting your weight around so that you can get into different spaces here. If you want, you could also slide up and down on your towel. You could tuck your left toes and slide up and down. But the key here is really pressure and playing with getting into various spaces here. Right? So we are, in fact, air. We're comprised of many air molecules, and air is a part of our vitality, right? But if we're not allowing ourselves to really fill fully with this element because of these holding patterns, then we tend to keep a lot of old energies locked in place. We will not feel nourished, even though there's plenty of nourishment here for us, right? So just like the air exists all around us, plenty of air for us to breathe here. But if we're holding on to an old pattern that believes that we're not worthy of nourishment, or it's not time yet, or that we don't know how to create it, or that it doesn't exist, if we're holding a pattern of scarcity because of whatever's been passed down in our lineage, then this all shows up in the way we articulate and hold our pelvis and core. And of course, the way we're holding our pelvis and our core patterns affect our ability to actually breathe in the air around us, to receive that nourishment that's so readily available. So just working here at how really building these relationships with our body can shift so much for us at the level of our psyche and our relationship with ourselves and the world. Good, go ahead and release it. bring your left leg or your right leg back in, tuck your toes, and press back up. Oh yeah. And now we can come to stand if you want. And just let yourself be in your body, noticing any subtle shifts that you've created. Closing your eyes for a moment to really just be in body. Take a little walk around your space as well, and just notice if there happens to be a difference in the way your feet meet the earth. Maybe you're noticing a slight difference in your posture. Maybe you're noticing a slight difference in the position of your head and neck, or any tension that was there that isn't there. So just notice for yourself. Okay. So let's work a little bit with our pelvis, all right? So I'm gonna ask you to do some movements that they may be suggestive. If you want to turn your camera off, you can. But we're doing this because holding patterns in our pelvis hold old energy. The way to move out this energy is to have some dynamic movement, to move in novel ways, right? And so we're just gonna start by shifting back and forth, like if we were, I don't know, Britney Spears on the Mickey Mouse Club or something. I'm saying that because I just watched some old videos recently. But just shifting back and forth, your knees can be slightly bent, and then just bring your awareness down to your SI joint in your back, so the back of your pelvis, this triangular joint, and just notice the rhythm, or notice if there seems to be a lack of rhythm there. Good. And then map your pelvic bones too, so apply a little bit of pressure just to map the space that contains your sacral energy, your sacred creative energy, and your sexuality. And when we think about sexuality, I'm not necessarily talking about how we relate to others in the physical. I am talking about how we connect with feminine and masculine energies in our lives. How do we connect with men and women? And how do we connect with our own feminine and masculine energies? How do we connect with our creativity? Do we have a relationship with our intuition? Or are we all thinking and all doing? Trying to figure things out in a linear way, right? That has its time and place. But oftentimes creating brand new and healing old trauma and releasing old stress, it invites us to operate in this realm of feeling and sensing. In order to operate in that realm, we've got to enter a receptive state, right? So this is more of a feminine quality. I'm not talking about man, woman, because we all have each of these energies. Good, now so bring it back up. And now we're just gonna play with a little bit of bigger motion here. So like we were stirring the cauldron before, now it's like we're stirring the cauldron with our pelvis or like with our booty. So this may look a little funny, but just keep working it. And as you're doing this, notice areas of tension or rigidity as you move around, and bring once again that quality that we worked with before of fluidity or aqueous, right? Like if we were a sea creature moving through the water, and the only way we could get through the water was working our hips and booty. This was not planned. This was not planned cueing, by the way. Good. So just consider this as like stirring up those old energies. We get so caught in the same patterning day in and day out. And so what we're finding when we look at pelvic health and we look at a lot of research, how it relates to emotional patterns and behavioral patterns and the movement or the lack of movement of our pelvis, we do see a correlation. So go ahead and come out of that. Hopefully that was fun. And let's find a block and our danda. All right, take your left foot up on your block and your danda in your right hand. Push down and then lift your right hip. Round your spine slightly. Good, and then lengthen the left side of your body. Lateral bend to the right. That's it, come back down. Bend your knees, shift your hips to the right, lateral bend toward your block. That's it, once more. Go slow. So you can use what we're doing right now to assist you with low back strain or low back stiffness. If you're really tight in your low back or in your pelvis, you're probably gonna also feel that in some way in your shoulders and neck. So once more, bring it back. Switching to the other side. That's it. So asymmetrical pelvis, long right side of the body, lateral bend towards your danda. Bring it back down, bend in your knees, shift your hips towards your danda, lateral bend, opposite direction. That's it. Keep moving just like that. We're gonna do 2 more. So freeing up those stagnant creative energies, freeing up those old stories of how we were valued or not valued by the men and women in our lives. Freeing it all up to create a blank slate. That's it. Come back down. Place your danda to the side. Let's see what else I have for you guys. All right. Yeah, so we're going to come to stand at the top of our mats. We're going to come into a squat. Remember, squat with a neutral spine, neutral pelvis. All right? So it's going to look and sound like this. I'm going to exhale up. Relax my belly, and then inhale down. And you may even, it's okay when you relax your belly, you can even let your belly kind of hang and fill that space with air. We don't need to be so tight and rigid in this space. Remember, if we're tight and rigid in this region, we're probably not allowing the air, the nourishment to come in and fill our being. Keep moving just like that. Last one. That's it. And let's come now to the back of our mat. Squat. Bring your hands to the earth. We're going to walk up. Find plank. That's it. And now bring your knees to the earth. Step your right foot forward. All right, so actually let's find our blocks for this one. Find your blocks, place them on the setting where they're narrow but short. So long, they're on their long setting, but they're not wide, right? So it looks like that. Okay, so as you look at me, notice that I have my belly over my front thigh here, and I'm just going to create a little bit of length in my back leg, but my knee is bent and my toe is tucked. or not my toe, but all of my toes are tucked. Okay, watch me first. So I am going to inhale into my belly. Exhale, lift off. And then inhale, come back down. But as I do this, it's very slow, and I'm keeping my belly over my front thighs so that I'm not creating a lot of pressure or strain on my back knee. But here we are working, strengthening our hip flexors at their length and range. All right, ready, set, relax your belly, inhale, exhale up. Relax your belly, inhale. That's it. Exhale up to the sound of shh. Keep moving just like that. Stay with the sound. Strengthening our hip flexors, moving energy in that pelvic space. Notice if you begin to hold your breath or tension your abdomen. If that's you, stop what you're doing. Relax your belly fully. Allow that space to fill with the nourishing air. And then exhale up. Keep the back of your neck long here. That's it. Bring it back down. Step your right leg back. Bring your big toes together. Your knees come wide on your mat. That's it. And now forehead to the earth. Invitation to repeat these words. I am ready to show my old way of being a brand new path. That's it. Go ahead and lift your head. Awesome. And then we're going to come up to quadruped and then bring your left leg forward. Create a little length in your in the space between your pelvis and your knee. Tuck your toes on your right leg. That's it. Relax your belly. Inhale into that space. Keep your belly over your front thigh. That's it. When ready, exhale, rise. Keep moving just like that, allowing the sound and the sensation of your own breath to clear your mind and to soothe you. That's it. Just a few more there. So our diaphragm, the movement of our diaphragm up and down as we breathe, that is what pumps the lymph in the region of our pelvis. Remember, the lymph is helping us to release toxins, to release things that we do not need, and also plays a role in our ability to assimilate nutrients, to bring in the nourishment. everything that happens in the body has an absolutely symbolic representation for what happens in our psyche and in our lives. So remember, when I can take in full breath, when I'm getting full movement of my diaphragm, when I'm relaxed and not tensioned or holding or gripping here in my pelvis and in my core, by getting functional breath, I'm also helping to pump the toxins out of my system and bring in new. And so if our lymphatic system gets really bogged down, we're going to feel fatigue. It may express itself as depression, of a lack of motivation, of not being able to get out of bed. And so just understanding how all of these parts play a role in creating the experiences of our lives. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to bring it up. So let's come into quadruped. Tuck your toes, push off from your hands and stand up. And now we're going to really mix things up or stir things up, working with the fire element before we move into our somatic meditation for tonight. So take a wide leg stance. It's going to look and sound like this. Swaha. Swaha. The sound is swaha. We're using this to build a little bit of heat. Remember, alignment of your spine, back of your neck long. Swaha. 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 Keep moving just like that. Using this as a practice to build a fire of transformation within you, within your cells. Perhaps holding an intention here to alchemize old energy, to release an old pattern. Maybe it's a thought pattern. Maybe it's a way you respond to something. But releasing that old pattern, releasing the stress and the pain that it has caused you, and transmuting it into power and wisdom for the best for all. This is one way that you play your vital role in the ecosystem. So coming to pause just for a moment, an invitation to ask yourself this question. Where in your life can you turn a grievance, a resentment, a betrayal, or even a story of victimization? Where can you, or where would you like to transmute that story into something of beauty? It doesn't matter if it doesn't feel possible right now. The question is, are you willing to change your stories? To rewrite something brand new? Hold whatever that is in your mind's awareness. That's it. I can feel the energy shifting here, guys. Even though we're not in person, I can feel you. Beautiful work you're doing. I am willing to change my story. All right, let's do 5 more. Swaha with great intention. Swaha. 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 That's it. Turn your feet out 45 degrees. Bend your knees, drop into goddess pose, shifting your hips from side to side. That's it. Taking on this posture. The wounded healer becomes the goddess or the god, right? after alchemizing pain into personal power and wisdom, we begin to embody more of the purpose of why we came, why we lived and endured what we've lived and endured. I like to say, first we endure it, then we master it, and then we go out and share it. And this is how we serve. All right, bring your arms up. If you want to come out of Goddess, go ahead. If you want to stay there, then please do. We're going to shift back and forth like this. So forward, back, up, and down of our arms. Moving energy, boosting circulation through our yin meridians here. Keep moving just like that as I chat with you. So our yin meridians through our arms here. We have the lung meridian. The lung is often associated with emotions of grief or sadness. So here, moving energy, allowing ourselves to turn grief into gratitude. That's it. If you like, you can draw your elbows down and your shoulder blades down, and then bring it back out. Pulse, pulse, down. Pulse, pulse, down. Keep moving just like that. Here we're also working with the heart meridian. The heart can provide us feelings of joy and compassion, but when it's feeling a little closed from heartbreak, we can feel despair, resentment. So here, let us move this energy, turning resentment into understanding, turning resentment into forgiveness, but also healthy boundaries, right? Can we thank what has hurt us for teaching us how to set boundaries, how to be a very boundaried badass? Right? Changing those stories. All right, and then bring it down, elbows down, working with large intestine. The meridian of the large intestine also can be associated with sadness and grief. So where can we turn sadness or a feeling of helplessness into hope? And I know many of you in here tonight and who will watch the recording have had some recent breakthroughs where hope flooded in the place of helplessness. So take this time to celebrate yourself. All of those little victories count. That's it. Bring it down. Let's come into Goddess pose. Hands at heart center, shifting side to side. That's it. Inhale into your belly. Bring your hands down. Exhale overhead. Rising up once more. That's it. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's find that danda and place it on the ground. Let's see what time it is. Perfect timing. Nice. All right, we're just going to go for a little walk. So or a little roll rather. So barefoot is best, just because we want to utilize those thousands of nerve endings at the bottoms of our feet to give us this sense of being grounded and supported. And as you're here, I'm going to just suggest, you can switch feet back and forth, but I just want to suggest something for you. So often we can wake up and we're immediately flooded by all the things we have to do, by all the things that are not perfectly in place in our lives yet, by how we wish things were different. We're like flooded with this discontentment, right? And it can be consuming and it steals our energy. It actually drains our energy, as well as creates a lot of imbalance through our meridians and in the systems of our body. So my suggestion is to start replacing that mind chatter. Get up, work with the danda, or go outside and put your bare feet on the earth. If it's too cold, just get outside and in some way make contact with the earth, make contact with a tree. Remember that every time you breathe out, you're giving nourishment to this earth. And every time that you breathe in, you are receiving nourishment. So invitation to repeat these words and use this practice after class. Keep rolling your feet. I am willing to acknowledge the support of the moment. I can feel the support beneath my feet. I can feel the supportive breath in my lungs, in the air all around me. I can feel the supportive beat of my heart. I can feel that I am existing as part of the whole. I can feel that every molecule of the universe is also inside of me. I am willing to own my vital role in the ecosystem. To believe in my music, to believe in my art, to believe in my ability to hold compassionate space for others. I am willing to own the fact that I am always receiving and giving support. Let's say that last one again. I am willing to own the fact that I am always receiving and giving support. Never to underestimate our role in the whole. Awesome, guys. Let's bring it down. So come to the back of your mat. Squat. Bring it down, all the way down. We're just going to come all the way to our bellies for a moment. And using your inner core muscles, just a quick lift off the earth and ever so slowly bringing it back down. Once more. That's it. Strong, stable, and supported from the inside out. Flip it over. Let's come. Bend your elbows, your forearms, and your palms are on the earth. We're going to meet in this position. It's going to look like this. So inhale, exhale. Keep your chin tilted slightly down so you can feel the back of your neck long. As if you were a shooting star, literally shooting off through space. Shooting out into the unknown to embody brand new experiences. That's it. Last one. Bring it down. All right, guys, so I have something a little different. Maybe some of you have done this with me before, but I'm gonna put a song in the chat box. You can go to YouTube to listen to it. I'm gonna ask that we listen to it together. I'm gonna give you a very specific movement to do with it. Hopefully you like it. I'm just also gonna suggest that when you click on this link, turn your volume down first, because sometimes they have horrible ads that are like about awful things that could be triggering. So turn your volume down first. Once the ad is over, turn the volume up. So let's see here. There we go. All right, so there's the song, but before you go to it, and I'm gonna ask that we meet back together once it's over, but before you go to it, the invitation is to take your hands and bring them right here where your leg meets your pelvis, this sacred creative area, and to have your hands there, or you could even bring them closer together and make a little triangle here. But to hold your hands there and make contact with this part of your body, feeling, sensing, allowing this creative center to guide you through your movement. And just, I'm inviting you to kind of just move with the flow of the music, with the feeling that the words give you. Allow yourself to be just fluid and free, a blank slate with no definition and no have-tos. All right, guys, thanks for playing along. I hope that you found tonight inspiring, and I just want to invite you to remember to stay attuned to the support that exists here in your every breath. And every moment that we are attuned to that is a little victory, and all of those things add up in shifting the old into something totally novel. So thank you all for showing up and doing this deep work. I appreciate you so, so much. Mwah. Have a good night.